Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm Napasa Pradhan, your host for today, and I'm really happy that you have joined us. And before we head on with today's daily immigration dose, I'm very excited to also tell you that our my co-host Sam is also going to join us. And before that, I'm going to read the disclaimer. And that is by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. So, once again, a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you have joined us from. Thank you so much for joining us here. And we are streaming live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and on X. So, please feel free to join us in this discussion by commenting, or better, even just call us on this number and you can be on call in conversation with us. And the number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. And now, without further ado, please help me welcome my co-host Sam. Hi Sam, how are you doing today?
Hi, Napasa. Thank you so much for being my co-host, and it's lovely. Everything is so good, and we are really excited towards this episode because we are going to look ahead what Trump has updated. Especially in day
Yes.
one. So it's going to be very informative and very timely topic, and I'm really excited to explore this topic. So I think without any further ado, let's begin with our very first news update as we usually go through it.
Sure. And I think you should,
All
yes.
right. So, I think, friends, here's a very important news that I would like to address, and that's about President Trump pledges to reclaim Panama Canal. So, on his first day back in office, US President Donald Trump promised to take back control of the Panama Canal from Panama. So, till now, we have been just hearing about these concepts and we have been just thinking whether it's going to be true or not. But Trump has been very much vocal about it, and now we are going to understand that he is a man of his word. So, whatsoever he says, he does it too. He also claimed that Panama did not fulfill agreements made when the canal was handed over in 1999, and also suggested that China now has too much influence over it. Trump did not specify how he would achieve this, but hinted at military force if necessary. So, this shows that Trump is very much into obtaining the Panama Canal, and even if the military force, even if that's necessary, then he can also do that. And with the other news, there's about Kash Patel, who is going to lead the FBI under Trump's second term. So Donald Trump has chosen Kash Patel, a loyal supporter, to be the new head of the FBI. And the decision still needs approval from the Senate, but Patel is likely to take charge soon. The nomination needs Senate approval, but Patel is expected to play a very big role in Trump's second term. And for now, the FBI has no official leader since the acting director, Paul Abbott, has retired. Moving ahead with my next news, that's about Elon Musk's gesture, and that sparks the Nazi salute. So, Elon Musk's arm gesture during a rally at Donald Trump's inauguration caused a stir on the social media, with many accusing him of mimicking a Nazi salute. So, Musk has raised his arm during a speech, which led to heated online debates about whether the gesture was inappropriate or not. Elon Musk also made a hand gesture during a rally at Trump's inauguration, and where people are mostly looking ahead and saying that it's like a Nazi salute. This caused a lot of debate and criticism on social media. Moving ahead with my next news, and that's about crypto token crash. So, Trump inauguration leads to crypto token crash, and that's a very important news, friends. Because after Donald Trump's inauguration as of the United States, the cryptocurrency market experienced a sharp decline. And Bitcoin and new crypto tokens related to Trump, like Trump dollar and Melania dollar tokens, lost value quickly. Bitcoin, which hit a record high, fell back significantly. So the market had high expectation that Trump's administration would make announcements about cryptocurrencies, which could positively impact digital assets. However, his speech focused majorly on tariffs, taxes, and immigration and energy policies, and nothing about cryptocurrencies or bitcoins. So, as a result, the market also saw a sell off where many investors quickly sold their crypto holdings, leading to a big drop in value. So, these were some of the major news updates from my end. And Nepasa, please go ahead and share some other news headlines also with our viewers.
Absolutely, Sam. Thank you so much for those very, very important news updates. And I also got a few. So this first one is, 22 states sued Trump over birthright citizenship ban, and this is a legal shadow showdown. And attorneys general from 22 states have filed a lawsuit challenging President Donald Trump's executive order aimed at ending birthright citizenship. And the century-old practice guarantees U.S. citizenship to anyone born on American soil, regardless of their parents' immigration status. So, yes, Trump's order issued late Monday marks a controversial move that aligns with his campaign promises, but has sparked immediate backlash. And critics, including Democratic attorneys general, argued that the order violates the 14th Amendment. And New Jersey Attorney General um, Matt Platkin stated that the president cannot, with a stroke of a pen, write the 14th Amendment out of existence. And the White House defended the move, calling the lawsuits an extension of the radical left resistance and promising to fight the legal challenge in the court. Apart from that, Connecticut Attorney General William Tong, a birthright citizen himself, emphasized the personal stakes, stating the 14th Amendment says what it means. And if you are born on American soil, you are an American. And the battle over this constitutional right is expected to result in a lengthy legal showdown. Next up, I have, Republican senators criticized Trump's January 6th pardons amid backlash. So Senators Suzanne Collins and Melissa Murkowski Murkowski have voiced a strong criticism of President Donald Trump's decision to pardon certain individuals involved in the January 6th Capitol riot. And St. Collins revealed her communication with an officer who shared a video of his assault, emphasizing the emotional toll. And people who committed violent crimes on January 6th of 2021 should not be pardoned, she stated, adding a distinction between those who deserve clemency versus those who committed violence. And yes, Sen also expressed disappointment, noting her concerns about the message this sends to law enforcement officers who defended the Capitol. She said that I fear the message sent to these brave men and women who stood by us. And the controversial pardons have sparked widespread debate about accountability and justice following the Capitol riots. And next up, I have about wildfires, wildfires force evacuation in San Diego as Santa Ana winds break havoc. And San Diego County faced multiple wildfire outbreaks early today, Tuesday, prompting evacuations, school closures, and even power shutoffs. Well, the largest blaze, the Lilac Fire, expanded to 80 acres in Bonsal, displacing 86 residents and damaging two structures. Well, firefighters have contained 10% of the fire, and the Pala Fire, covering 17 acres near Pala Mesa, halted forward progress, allowing evacuation orders to be lifted. A smaller Riverview fire burned 1 acre before containment, fueled by hurricane force Santa Ana winds, with gusts, with gusts reaching about 102 mph. And these fires, highlight ongoing risk. Nearly about 48,000 power outages were reported across San Diego and Riverside counties by late morning. So, meanwhile, Los Angeles remains under red flag warnings as crew battles two deadly wildfires, and they have already claimed 27 lives and destroyed over 15,000 structures. Authorities remain vigilant against potential new outbreaks. And We really hope and pray, and I hope that all of you folks out there, can lend a helping hand in whichever way possible, and don't forget them in your prayers. And those were some of the news updates I had from my side. And apart from that, we also have England versus USA. When you talk about cricket, women's T20 World Cup showdown today. So the ICC Under 19 Women's T20 World Cup 2025 continues with an exciting clash between England and the USA in match 18 at the JCA Oval in Johor Bahru on Wednesday, that is January 22nd. Well, England comes off a dominant 6 wicket win against Pakistan, chasing a 67 run target in just 9.2 overs. And meanwhile, the USA impressed against Ireland, securing victory with 9 wickets in hand and standout bowling from Isani Vagela, who claimed 3-0-10-3 and earned Player of the Match honors. So, yes, you should definitely not forget to catch this thrilling encounter as both teams aim to keep their momentum alive tomorrow. So, cheer for America. And those were a few updates from my end. And yeah, I think without further ado, we should head on with our topic for today. And our topic of discussion today, Donald Trump, the 47th president of the United States, hit the ground running with a series of bold executive actions on his very first day today. And yes, from immigration to trade to economic policies, these decisions have already begun to ripple across the nation. So leaving millions, of course, out there, wondering what is going to happen and what does it mean for America's future. And yes, that is what we are going to explore in today's episode. And yes, we will break down the groundbreaking orders one by one. And yes, I think without further ado, Sam, if you're ready, we should go ahead and talk about Trump's day one. What do his bold executive actions mean for America's future?
Absolutely. All right. So I think, before sharing our views and before diving into the very first topic, I would also like to say with our viewers that, friends, if you're watching us from YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, you can also join us, this conversation by dialing this number that is visible on the screen. You can dial 425-436-6335 with the access code 988888. That's 5 times 8. So you can join us and you can share your views, you can share your perception, anything that you would like to let us know about. What do you think about Trump's administration? Is it going to be uh, benefiting the America, or is it not going to be? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Anything that you would like to share your views, you're free to share those views here, and we are definitely going to have a great conversation. So go ahead and dial this number as soon as possible, and it will be a great time, to have a lovely conversation together. All right. So I think till the time we are going to have another call, I would like to talk about the very first topic, and that's about pardons for January 6th attack participants. On his very first day, we have seen that as Trump is back in his office with a very bold statement, with a very energy, with a different energy in his second term. So he is about to follow through on his promise to pardon people, those who were involved in January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. And he's about to pardon about 1,500 people who were charged or convicted for their role in the event. He also ordered the end of legal cases against his political supporters, claiming the Biden administration had used law enforcement unfairly against them. So actually, I would just like to let you guys know that what happened actually on January 6, 2021. There was a riot going on, and it was about 2021 election that was won by Joe Biden's administration. Over there, the Trump supporters gathered in Washington D.C. and they protested against it, and they were being very violent. And all the riot that took place over there, it was a very devastating incident that took place. Even so many people got injured, and even the police officer, they also have to lose their lives. So it was like a crowd broke through security barriers and entered the capital, causing a lots of chaos over there. And even the lawmakers, they were forced to evacuate, and the capital was locked down completely. And even five people died over there, including a police officer, as I mentioned, and other people were injured badly. So Trump was blamed for encouraging the crowd, and it was everything that put on Trump. And everyone was blaming Trump that because of his actions, because of his very aggressive attitude, his supporters took this step and made this event a very chaotic one. And right now he is going to ask for those the people who actually suffered over there, or the one who took the make this chaotic events a very miserable one. He's going to ask sorry for those people's pardon for those who were actually involved in the January 6th riot. So according to me, Napasa, I think that everything should be in a very systematic way. Even if the elections, it's a very people don't take it normally, people take it in a very personal way. So even if the other party is going to win or lose, I think people should have that much patience in themselves, to accept the winning of the other party, rather than just being so violent and having this chaotic scenario. Because these are like against laws. If you are hurting someone, if you are being such a uh, involving everyone, and violence is there, and people have been killed over there, and five people were there who actually
Yes.
lost their lives, including the police officer. So it is something that not I would say it wasn't legal, and it wasn't according to law also. And that again, we are seeing that Trump is very much into his statement that he is not feeling regret about it. He's not saying sorry about it. Instead, he is asking sorry for from the other people. That because of the Biden administration, the people they have to suffer. So, what's your call on that? Because I am quite against of this. I would say first move that Trump is going to take in his.
Of course, not just you, not just me, but so many people out there, and that is why Trump is facing backlash on this point, at least. The Capitol riots, and of course, violence. I understand, that passion comes from within. It's just like a football, I mean, soccer game, a football game, where I mean, not just the players, but also the viewers are very, very passionate, and they are very vocal about everything, and how they are supporting their team, and so was the case of this Capitol riot. And what is very sad is not only it was vocal, not only it was violent physically, but it also ended up in, losing lives. And how can that be pardoned, right?
Right.
So it's a very, very it's facing backlash, and it's just not you and I, but many people out there who do not support this at all. So yes, the January 6th Capitol riots, pardoning about 1,500 individuals convicted for charge of their roles. I don't think they should all be pardoned. That is for sure. And Trump also directed an end to the federal cases against his supporters, framing it as a move to end the so-called weaponization of federal agencies. So I do not support that either. It's very, very polarizing. It's I don't know how is Trump defending himself, or how is he even reasoning for the pardon. Because the chaos was caused, and it was passion, and it just broke so many limits in so many ways.
Absolutely. And because of that reason, also, he got impeached as well. And it was really sad, that if anyone is getting impeached, I mean, any president, that's a big thing. And Trump was blamed because for encouraging crowd, for making such aggressive statements. That's why everyone got so much into this chaotic event. And he was impeached by the House of Representatives. And it was like a very sad incident. It was like a very problematic incident also, because nobody can be excused with that, and nobody can justify that incident, when
I mean, yes,
uh,
it was one of the darkest days, I think, in American history, if you look back a few years back. And this was caused, I mean,
mhm.
in a generation like today, in this century, this is happening, and it's really not right. But yes, they were convicted for a reason, not just without any reason. And They should not just be pardoned, especially, I mean, those who had any hand in losing those lives, which we lost on that day. May their souls rest in peace.
Absolutely. And with that, I think we should go ahead and understand the second change or the second update that may come in this year. So, Napasa, please go ahead and share the other changes that Trump is about to start.
Yes, absolutely. And this is about economy and energy policy. The way he started with so much energy, he thought that the January 6th riot would not face what it is facing right now, maybe, but that's what it is. And apart from that, we have what he has even mentioned in his speech on the inaugural ceremony, and that's right, drill, baby, drill. But yes, coming back, economy and energy policy, So it's Trump's economic agenda, and he signed orders to repeal several Biden era regulations on oil and natural gas pollution production. Sorry, and the goal of reducing consumer costs. So this move is directly tied to his promise to lower inflation, and he's also hinted at a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico starting the 1st of February this year. So, yes, and then there is his memorandum to pause the TikTok ban for 75 days, aiming to strike a deal that protects national security while keeping the app accessible to Americans. So, this is another very interesting thing that he has done. And these actions really seem designed to deliver quick wins, but how suitable are they, do you think? And, while deregulating fossil fuels, you think it may lower energy costs in the short term, but what about the long term environmental and geopolitical consequences? What's going to happen? What do you think? Do you think his decision is right, even with regard to energy, drill baby drill, or is he just thinking about his term as a president, just for the next 4 years he's just going to drill baby drill and not think about you know the effect it is going to have on the environment, and also the geopolitical consequences, because these are going to be exhausted in some point or another. And the
Mhm.
way he has mentioned, very energetically about energy in his speech, about having more launches of automobiles, and of course having their dependence on themselves with regard to oil or even natural gas.
Mhm.
So these tariffs are also going to impact the trade relationship with our closest neighbors, and they are Canada and Mexico. So
Right.
what do you think is going to happen, Sam?
I think it's too soon to comment because we are not very much sure that how much impactful it will be, because it's something related to environment, so we can't give any assurance regarding that. But I think as Trump is saying that he is more into making America more independent, and that natural gas and natural oil should be there from America. And he also said that the land where they are standing right now. Yesterday, is in his Trump's inauguration speech, he also
Yes.
mentioned that the land where they are standing, it's just the oil is over there. So these are
Yes.
something that's very important to like he put up, and that's very true. That's a thing that we can take it in a very optimistic way. But
Yes.
if we talk about regarding the environment, then something I think it's going to harm the environment also, and it shouldn't be very much benefiting for a longer period of term. It may, I would say, it may reduce the inflation. It may create more workers. It may provide more wages, or it may provide more workers employment basically. But regarding environment, I think it's going to harm the environment, and it's not going to be very much beneficial, not very much environment friendly. So we are not very much sure that how much impactful it will be, or what can be the causes, or what can be the repercussions of it. But I think if there is something benefiting also, then there is something also that's not benefiting at all. So we can just hope, and we can just see that how it's going to be everything. because now also I think Trump can have a change in his agendas or in his policies that he's looking for it.
Yes,
So
yes. It's
yeah,
going
I
to
think
have mixed effects, that's for sure. And I mean, if this is what is going to happen, let's see how fast this happens as well, because it's going to take some time to make this into a reality. At least, the transitioning period,
right.
where we are not going to be super dependent on Canada or Mexico, and we are going to be totally independent with regard to oil and gas. So, yes, I think with regard to inflation, you've very well mentioned it is going to reduce, but let's see how fast this also takes place, and it is
And
certainly going
also
to have
about,
its effect. Yeah.
yeah, and also about TikTok that we are talking about it. So I think TikTok is a very, I would say, nobody wants to ban TikTok in their own country because it's a very entertaining, it's a very time-consuming app, and
Yes.
I think now we are spending time on Reels, but earlier it used to be on TikTok only. So, but I think why US is more into ban TikTok and why US is so against. I mean, not US. I would say why Trump is against TikTok because I think because of the relationship between the Trump and the China. It's not very much friendly. It's not very much smooth. I mean, it's quite hostile. It's quite different, and that's why I think Trump is more into ban this app, ban TikTok's app, because he says, I think he also mentioned it somewhere that regarding TikTok, Trump has delayed the ban on the app for 75 days to give time to find a US buyer, which he believes that is going to protect national security. Because he said that TikTok app is going to, collect some personal information from US and is going to harm the US people regarding their privacy. So, because as Trump wanted to make sure that TikTok's data stayed in America and wasn't controlled by China, so he pushed for an America company to take over TikTok. However, I don't know whether his plan is going to face some legal problems or not, but wasn't fully carried out. So there is something that Trump and the China government is having in between, and it's not very much vocal. It's not very much evident right now. But
Plus, also, I think it'll also depend on Shu Chen, right? If I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
the owner of TikTok. I mean, the innovator of TikTok.
Mhm.
So I doubt he would just want to sell it off just like that.
I don't know whether he wants to sell it off or not, but I think it's majorly regarding Trump because he is more as also
Yes.
before taking the oath ceremony. Before the oath ceremony has to be there, he also said that he is going to ban the TikTok, but now he's saying that he is going to extend the banning period for 75 days extra, so that he can have the ownership on TikTok. So I think it's something going on between them, which we are not very much aware. But I think sooner or later we are definitely going to understand why it's actually the reason, or what exactly the reason behind it.
I mean,
Uh,
he's only thinking of national security. I'm sure he's thinking of all the ways to protect his nation and the Americans. So, yes, whether it is protecting the borders, basically any breach, any sort of vulnerability that could act as a threat later. So I think he just wants to be more secured, feel more secured. I think he doesn't feel so secured with so many people
TikTok.
in America using TikTok, and China having all the control with the data TikTok gets, because whichever app you use, you are allowing access to your information in your phone
Yeah.
and so many things else. So
And I
I
think
think
that is why India has also taken this step to ban TikTok, right? Because of some data or some security issues were there, and I think that's we are still not sure whether it was real or not, but I think that can be the reason behind that. Also, why Indian government also took this step.
And it
So
was also, I think, because they were not very comfortable with China. I think this also happened almost during COVID, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, there
yeah,
were so many other apps that were banned, including games, for that matter, Mobile Legends, and I mean, for gamers out there, those who play, and yes, TikTok is one, and I can't remember so many, but there were more than 50, that's for sure. There were so many
yeah.
in the list. Yeah. And I don't know if they're all back again.
They were musically also, if I
Yes.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah. But
They were.
are they back? I mean, is any of these apps back? Or, you have to use VPN, say that you're in another country to use these apps.
Mhm.
I
Right,
think
right.
so. Yeah.
All right. So I think we should move ahead and we should talk more about the other pointers as well, and that's about America First policy. So we all know that how much Trump is more into America First because when he hasn't even joined the office, he was more into America First. And yesterday in his speech, also we have listened that just within a minute, his first point that he mentioned about America First. So I think his approach is very much strong enough, and he is giving a lot of attention to this policy. And also, Trump pulled the US out of the WHO again. So it's a major news and it's a major thing that he is not going to have any World Health Organization. So this is a move that has made during his first term as well, but he has also tried to implement during his second term as well. So I mean, because he also mentioned that during the COVID-19 time, Trump was morely into the statement that as China has been suffering a lot during the COVID time, so he was saying that what WHO is doing because I think there was some controversies also that was going around, and Trump was making these bold statements regarding WHO. The WHO is not working well or is not providing much, I would say, advantages or much benefits, that what the whole globe was expecting from them. So that is why I think he took this step, and in his second term, he is not very much into WHO, and that's why he is putting these things out of America. And also, I think, yeah, so this is from my end. And Nepalsa, can you please go ahead and share some more if you want to add on it or share some other pointers as well?
I would like to talk about, immigration overhaul. So, immigration was one other major aspects, that Trump focused on, especially today, is day one. And he even reversed Biden's narrow deportation priorities and, reinstated a policy that makes everyone in the country illegally a deportation priority. So if anybody has been staying in the country illegally, they do have a threat, and I do not know how is Trump going to reach them, but yes, there are, so many ways probably he's going to come to know about that. Checkpoints in, I mean, no matter where, which city you are, I mean, transportation, whichever, and they would know your identity, right? You may have banks, you may have to have interactions, you may be in a school. There's so many ways. So we don't know how is Trump going to get to that information. But yes, if anyone is in the country illegally, he's going to make, deporting them one of the first priorities for sure. So, yes, he declared a national emergency in the US Mexico border, and he promises to deploy troops and restrict asylum seekers. So, yes, Trump also pledged to end birthright citizenship, although that it's a constitutional right. Well, another notable change was that his decision to terminate the CBP One app, right? And this was used actually to facilitate legal entries for migrants. So, and this also has so many thousands, hundreds of thousands already, with pending applications, I would say. And now he's planned to completely stop this app. So let's see what's going to happen. And yes, these moves are very bold in line, and Trump's campaign promises. Um, but at the
Mhm.
same time, they raise concerns what's going to happen, especially about human rights and constitutional challenges and even logistics of enforcement. How is he going to do this, and how will these policies impact families, businesses, and even the broader immigration system? It is going to have a very, very major effect, that is for sure. What do you want to
Right.
say, Sam? Do you want anything else to add to that?
I think as you mentioned about birthright citizenship and then also CBP One app, I think these are very we can see a major change. That wasn't actually. We just went through the news and we just went through the things that yes he said, but now when it's actually officially going to implement and it's going to be legalized everywhere, it's like a big thing for everyone because it's not possible. I don't know whether it's possible or not, but it's really hard to accept that practically it's happening because after banning of CBP1 app, and that was majorly for the Mexicans over there. I mean, for anyone who were seeking the asylums in the US. So it was like a major thing, a major shift that we are going to see in this year because there were so many appointments; those were scheduled, and majorly, I think thousands of appointments those were scheduled, and there were many people who were just waiting for their time, waiting for their appointment, and they were waiting for the time when they will be able to enter the US legally with that CBP1 app. But now it's no longer over there, and it's like a major change that Trump has taken. And most of the people, they are surprised and they are very much they feel devastated, they lose hope, and they're not very much happy because now they are losing the chance to come to the US legally. And they're just suffering a lot. They are feeling so bad about it because that was the only chance, and that was a pretty easy chance because it was regarding the asylum seekers who can go ahead and schedule the appointments and will get the green card. So it was really sad over there. And also, about if you talked about birthright citizenship, so it's a very, I would say, I can't predict whether it's going to be right or not because earlier what it used to happen if the parents, whether they are having a green card or not, but if the son or if the girl is being born in the US land, then they are themselves considered as the US citizenship. But now it's not going to be longer till now, and things are changing, and things are changing in a very major way. So
I mean,
we
imagine, we even heard, I mean, I think it was Justin Rivera from Boston Immigration Litigation in one of our webinars. He had mentioned that he's going to see if, people are pregnant, they're not going to be really allowed to come into America. So I don't know how is he going to do
oh
that,
God.
or what plans does he have, or is he going to check? How is he going to check? So imagine like pregnancy tests becoming another, test that you have to go through before entering the US. So we
Right.
hear a lot of things that are going to happen, but I think we'll just have to wait and watch what is going to be implemented.
Absolutely. But still, Napasa, do you think that it's going to be favorable or do you think it's not going to be? Because, Trump's wife, Melania Trump, she himself is an immigrant. And till the time when they had a son, Barron Trump, I mean, it was also a question, that was raising on Barron Trump that Barron Trump is not a US citizenship. Though it was a rumor kind of thing, but still, people were questioning this because when Trump was announcing that he's going to end the birthright citizenship act, so most of the people were questioning them also. So, what's
I
your
think
thought?
I don't know what is Trump thinking that he's saying all this or trying to make these decisions or make these decisions already, but maybe he was more concerned about people really, trying to get like American citizenship through their children. So maybe coming and giving birth in America could automatically give them American children, and their American children could, sponsor their parents later. I
Yeah.
think that was happening a lot, and I do not know if that is what Trump has been thinking and why he has taken the stance. Um,
That's what, people when we misuse it. So these are very stricter and very bolder steps that someone has to take. So I think it's not completely that we have to put on everything on the government. It's also because of the people, because they are giving the reason behind, like why.
Basically, yes, yes, they're abusing it. They have been abusing whatever had been given to them, and
Mhm.
it's been raising concerns. A lot of it, and we hear so many frauds, especially immigrants. Causing frauds where they're trafficking, human trafficking is happening with regard to uh, work. They're saying that they have a job and they have promised jobs, and when they come, they don't really have anything much. So there, so much has been happening, and people are suffering, both ways. So I think these are some concerns, and what's required is more transparency. And we really hope that now, with Trump 2.0 and the next 4 years, we are going to be more transparent in every aspect. Let's see how is that going to be possible. But
I
yes,
think it's
that's
going to be a lot of transparency we are going to see in these 4 years, because we can't say that there is something hidden or there's something not shown. I think Trump is Trump. He is very much vocal, and I think his administration is also like that. So I think, Nipasa, you should be sure about it that there will be transparency, as you are
much
willing
needed,
to
much
acknowledge.
needed, because that's the only way that all these, fraudulent activities and
Right.
too much abuse of all the rights, is going to stop somehow.
We hope so. It will happen. But I think, Nipasa, let's go ahead and also look on the comments that our viewers have shared.
There are many
So,
comments actually, so let's look.
right.
You can read first. Yes, please.
All right. So let me take Imran comment. And Imran is saying that Trump signed an order to have the US exit the World Health Organization in 12 months and stop all financial contributions to its work. The US is WHO's biggest financial backer. Absolutely. What Trump said, okay, World Health ripped us off. Everybody rips off the United States. It's not going to happen anymore. WHO will be in big trouble. Trump signed an order to. Okay, so this is the second thing that we can talk about it. I think firstly we should talk about the WHO. So thank you so much, Imran, for putting this up, and that too in a very clear way. And that's very true, because US is somewhere biggest financial towards WHO. That gives a lot of fun to this organization. And now when they are saying that it's going to exit the World Organization, so that raises a lots of question, lots of confusion, and lots of I would say things, that we are not even ready to accept it. But that's what he said, and according to Trump, he is more into that. Maybe during COVID-19 pandemic, he was quite upset with the work of WHO, or maybe not very much happy regarding the. I would say regarding the response that WHO has provided in the whole nation, in the whole globe. And I think that's what he mentioned, And as Trump has said, that World Health Organization has ripped off everyone, and that shows that he's not very much in favor of it. He's a bit angry, he is dissatisfied, and he is not looking towards to continue the bond with the WHO. So yeah, I think that's what I can add on this. And should we go ahead, Nipasa, or would you like to add something on WHO?
No, go ahead. Let's go ahead.
All right,
There are so many to take up actually.
true. Okay, so here's another comment from Imran, and I think Imran is so much involved into this conversation that he has sent a lot. So thank you so much, Imran, for being here.
Yes, thank you, Imran. Really, yes, much appreciated. I wish you could join us on call. Actually, why don't you join us? Our number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. Join us. Yeah, Sam, please go on.
Yeah, so he said that Trump signed an order to remove gender ideology guidance from federal government communication policies and forms. Agencies will cease pretending that men can be women and women can be men when enforcing laws that protect against sex discrimination. Okay, so that's something new, and that's something I didn't know about this, that agencies are going to cease this pretending, that men can be women and women can be men. But I think that's what Trump has said, and Trump is more into only two gender. He's going to, those are the applicable, only the male and the female, and not the third gender. And that's what Trump has said. Right, Nepalsa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's right. And I think he's going to determine that with the organs they have, but not how they feel inside of them. So I'm not very sure how is everyone reacting to this, because it's a very, very sensitive topic, and we don't want to hurt anybody out there, offend anybody out there. And this is just what we hear in the news and what Trump has, boldly stated. Thank you, Imran, for bringing this up. So yes, about about men can be women and women can be men. We have so many friends, families out there who feel that way. But yes, talking about so many other genders, which we have late. I mean, which we've had, which we still have, and I think what Trump is talking about, it's on paper. There's just going to be female and male according to the genitals.
And I think it shouldn't be just two genders because everywhere, whenever we fill any form regarding any form, there is always a gender category, and there's always male, females, transgender, or also don't want to reveal. So I
Yes.
think these are something that should happen if the country is democratic, if the country has freedom of everything. And
Yes.
as Trump also said that, yesterday he mentioned in his speech, it's a liberation day. So I think if the
Exactly. And I'm sure, so many people out there belonging to different LGBT communities,
Mhm.
they must have also voted for him, whether they feel man or woman inside. And, I'm not very sure how is this going to be fair to so many out there. So I'm sure this is also going to receive a
Uh-huh.
lot of, yes,
If it's something
backlash.
that is misusing, because earlier we also had a discussion, remember Napasa, that we were discussing that most of the people, especially the minors below 18 years old, they were just having these sex change operation without even letting their parents know about it. So these are the things that were about to, they were misusing their body. They weren't going in a proper way, and there were also loss of maturity and loss of so many things, and they had to face a lot in their whole life. So if these are the conditions, if Trump is going to take steps on these things, if these misuse kind of thing, then I think that's good. But if it's majorly about if someone feels from within attractive towards men or women, that's their personal choice. But if someone is going to restrict the feelings of the people, then I think this is something wrong, and this shouldn't be happen. Because you're mature enough, you are 18 plus, so you have right, you have a freedom also, you can say anything, you can feel
I
anything.
mean, this will, yes, I mean, this is going to bring about so many questions and so many other things that are still happening, marriage also for that matter, because we hear so many people getting married. Some people are getting married to themselves, some people are getting married to same sex people. I mean, men getting married to men, women getting married to women. We see
Hmm.
so many marriages also out there, so I don't know what is going to this is going to have a huge effect. I'm sure it's going to have a ripple effect in so
Right.
many ways. So I just hope he's I don't know if I should hope also. I don't know what is Trump thinking, whether it's just on paper, because he can't really change what people feel, that is for sure. And forget feeling, but being born with those hormones. So
Absolutely. I think territorial thing, or maybe the technical thing, or maybe the nationwide thing, the things that have the non-living things, he can control that, he can change that. But if there's something about genders, if it's something about transgenders, then I don't think it's very much possible, because it's beyond our control. And doesn't matter what the laws are, doesn't matter, you can't change the feeling. You can be restrictive, you can be a little control over there, but I don't know. I mean, we
we
can't
don't
explain.
know. We seriously don't know, really, and it's the more we speak about it, the more confused we're going to get, for sure. But we really hope to get more light on this from Trump, for sure. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to read out Richard's comments. So Richard is saying. Ending birthright citizenship, Trump looks to limit automatic birthright citizenship for US born children of immigrants in the country illegally from 30 days after the order was signed. Okay. Yes, we spoke about this already. How is he going to check, and maybe pregnant people are not going to be allowed to come into the US, just in fear that they're going to give birth in the US and their children are going to be Americans. So,
Right.
yeah, and the next comment which Richard made was Trump temporarily suspended the US refugee admission program, pending a review to access the program's public safety and national security implications.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did that too. And even, you know, they said that there's emergency in the borders, right? U.S. Mexico border is said to be in emergency, so that the border is more secured, and they are not going to allow asylees to, those who are looking for asylum to come into the U.S. So
Right.
let's see what's going to happen. It's only day one. But Richard, thank you so much for these points. And this last one, which Richard has said, is he's also pledged to restart a policy that forced asylum seekers to wait over the border in Mexico. But officials didn't say whether Mexico would accept migrants again. So yes, it's a very, very critical situation for so many folks out there, especially immigrants, migrants, even people pregnant, or even people belonging to different genders. It's really day one, and so much has been signed energetically. Talk about energy as well, or even the socials for that matter, TikTok and the security concerns with it. So much has happened, so much has been signed on day one itself, and it's really caused a lot of talk in every corner of the world, even in every corner of America. So we don't really know what is going to happen. But yes, first off, he's also receiving backlash, especially with regard to the January 6th Capitol riot, right? So I'm sure even this gender thing is going to receive as much backlash. And well, what can I say?
Yeah, there are so many things that people are not very much in favor of Trump's ideas, and I think we can't expect everything, because if a government is there, so they have a different perception, they have a different ideologies, and maybe the stats or maybe the nation's growth, is dependent upon them only. So I think whatever steps they are taking, I hope that they are taking for the to like it's going to benefit the U.S. nation at all properly, and I think that's what we can expect. But there are certain things that is quite skeptical. It's quite confusing. Uh, so many unanswered questions over there, and we don't know yet that why is Trump going to take these steps, and what can be the reason behind it, then also what actually caused him to take these policies, and especially immigration, as he was already about the illegal immigration, but he's actually stopping, putting a barrier to most of the people, so that they can't even enter US by ending the birthright citizenship, by also putting a, I would say that CBP1 app also that cannot be possible right now. So there are so many changes. There are so many major changes that we can see just in one day, and we can't expect anything smoother in this year, because it's going to be so much, I would say, eye opening and jaw dropping. Hope so sometimes as well. So it's just going to be a bungee, I would say, a bumpy ride for
Yes, for sure.
everyone. And that's what we can expect, right, Nabasa?
Yes, absolutely, Sam. And there's so much more. So I think I'll go ahead with my next point, and that is, well, we've already made few points, I think, but federal bureaucracy and social policies. When you talk about it as well, Trump, he's also taken steps to overhaul the federal government, including freezing new hires and making it easier to fire federal workers by reclassifying them as political appointees. So, yes, this is one major thing that we also heard. And in addition, he also signed orders to end diversity, equity, and even inclusion programs, and roll back protections for transgender individuals. So, yes, these moves are in line with his campaign promises, but they have really sparked heated debates, like we were just speaking about it earlier, because it's about fairness. How fair is it? It's not so fair if you think about it. It's also about inclusion. Why are they being excluded? Or he really has to be able to give a reason why, and the role of the government in promoting equality as well. Instead of making everyone feel equal, he's also, you know, caused a sort of divide, like, and this feeling of insecurity inside also, so the question is, how will these changes really shape, federal institutions and even public trust in government policies? So a lot of chaos in the minds, hearts, and everywhere out there. So what's going to happen, we don't know.
Absolutely. And I think, for some reason, US people have selected Donald Trump only to be their president. So I think there are reasons. Maybe we are just talking and we are just giving our point of view. We are just sharing our opinion. That maybe not exactly the reason, or maybe not exactly the right reason, that we are sharing right now. And I think correctly or deeply, everything is known by the US people, and that's why they have chosen Donald Trump over Joe Biden. Because if we look into the news updates or everywhere, on social media, Joe Biden's administration has been very much soft, has been very much friendly, and Trump administration is completely opposite. So I think it's hard to understand the reality, hard to understand, get the reality check. And the people, those who are getting ruled by Trump administration, they themselves only know what's the reality is. And that's why they have chosen Trump over other administration. So I think we should have faith, we should have a belief that everything will come with lots of positiveness, with lots of happiness. And I think Trump is handling things in his way, and that may definitely benefit the US, because that's why he has been chosen for. And yeah, I think he is trying his best, as also you have said about the federal bureaucracy. He's going to be very much firm that he's going to fire the legal officers or the legal people. So this is again something, a very eye-opening change that we can see. And it's I think it's good also, because now people, maybe the legal professionals, they were just lacking, or maybe they were just procrastinating their work. But now, after Trump's this change, they may be very much firm, or they may be very much aware about, all the changes that they have to be. So I think they'll be very much responsible, and we can see a better lawmakers right now. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think that's what I can explain to our viewers. Yeah, that's all.
Yes, for sure. And so wrapping it up, today, Trump's day one, the actions, of Trump were as sweeping and as controversial at the same time. So whether it's pardons and immigration to energy and social policies, his decisions really have, set kind of a tone, um, how it could be, but in a very, very chaotic and chaotic form as well. So yes, so the big takeaway is, of course, that these policies are not just about governance; they are about shaping the narrative and even reinforcing Trump's base. But of course, the question still remains: what will be the long-term impact of these actions on America and the world? That's a big one. It's only day one, and this is a huge question everybody's having, on their foreheads. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to America and the whole world with Trump becoming the 47th president today? And it was day one. He already signed all of these things. So yes, folks, if you resonated with us and what we spoke today in this session of Daily Immigration Dose on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show, please do not forget to comment wherever, whichever platform you happen watching. Comment to leave your thoughts, and we would be really happy, to read them and maybe come back to you with something. So yes, do comment, and also like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We are Immigration and Jobs Talk Show on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and on X. We are also on Instagram. So yes, thank you everyone for tuning in today in today's episode, and um, yes, stay vigilant, stay alert, because this is just day one, and we are going to have so many more updates. So yes, watch out our space on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. It was a wonderful time today, Sam, right? So is there anything
Absolutely.
else you want to say?
Oh, I think everything we have covered, not in detail, but in short. And I think it has been very informative and very productive session. We also received lots of comments and a very detailed comments. So we can see that people are very much concerned. People are very much skeptical also about the controversies or the changes that's been happening. So yeah, I think I would say same, stay connected and keep yourself updated regarding all the news updates that's happening around the world, especially what Trump is going to say in the next minute. That's very important for everyone, especially for the immigrants. So yeah, I think that's all, friends. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It's very important, and do join us. It would be great if you could also join us and have a lovely conversation together. So make sure that you can join us tomorrow, because every day we come at 4 p.m. EST on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show channel. So thank you so much, everyone. Meanwhile, me and Napasa are signing off for now. Bye bye and take care.
Bye bye.